America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just make a note that Councilman Marcus Major is absent tonight. Old business approval of minutes. The regular meeting minutes of February 1st, 2024 were provided for review. I need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of February 1st, 2024 as presented.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call a roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Motion passed. Audience participation. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda? Tony? No? All right. Thought I saw a hand go up there. New business. General obligation bond ordinance 1103. Bond counsel Gilmore Bell has prepared ordinance number 1103, requesting that the city council authorize and provide for the issuance of general obligation bonds, series 2024A, of the city of Lansing, Kansas, for the purpose of providing funds to make sewer improvements. So I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 1103, an ordinance authorizing and providing for the issuance of general obligation bonds, series 2024A.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just a question.
Go ahead, Don.
I noticed we have to do an ordinance requesting the sale, and then we do a resolution requesting the city to direct the sale. Why can't we do that all in one document? Because I read through those and they seem to repeat themselves. Is it law, state law or something?
I'll defer to our legal counsel from Gilmore Bell and let her kind of tackle that question.
Yes, sir. You are not wrong. There is a Kansas state law that does require an ordinance to be adopted in order to sell the bonds.
Right.
And based on historical precedent, we have historically separated the ordinance and the resolution because the ordinance is also required to be published in the newspaper.
Right.
And so that was the goal of generally historically making the ordinance shorter so the publication costs are lower, and then putting more of the details in the resolution.
So in other words, it's just the way we've always done, right?
To save costs on the printing and to adopt the ordinance and the resolution. So, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Call roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 3 is for Don. Resolution B3 2024. Bond counsel Gilmore Bell has prepared resolution B3 2024 requesting that the city council adopt a resolution authorizing, directing sale and delivery of general obligation bonds series 2024A of the city of Lansing, Kansas. So I need a motion to adopt resolution number B3 2024, a resolution authorizing the sale and delivery of general obligation bonds series 2024A.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? No. Call roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 4 is general obligation bond ordinance 1104. Bond counsel Gilmore Bell has prepared ordinance number 1104 requesting the city council authorize and provide for the issuance of general obligation bonds series 2024B of the city of Lansing for the purpose of providing funds to construct a recreational and aquatic facility. I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 1104, an ordinance authorizing and providing for the issuance of general obligation bonds series 2024B.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Call roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 5 is resolution B4 2024. That well-known group, Bond Counsel Gilmore and Bell, has prepared resolution B4 2024 authorizing the offering of sale of general obligation bonds and taxable general obligation temporary notes of the City of Lansing, Kansas. So I need a motion to adopt resolution number B4 2024, a resolution authorizing the sale and delivery of general obligation tax bonds, Series 2024B.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Dan?
I know February 13th, you've got your, the rates. What were the rates that we were offered?
The rates.
I was waiting for someone to ask that. I was like, is nobody going to ask? So for the 2024A, which was for the sewer projects, we actually had 8 banks that bid on them, and the low bidder was Robert Baird at 3.18%, which we felt like was a very good rate. And then for the 2024B bonds, which was the aquatic center and recreation bonds, we had 6 banks bid, and the low rate was 3.72%, which was also, we felt, an excellent rate. All the banks that bid on that were within 0.1% of the winning bid. So we were very pleased with the results.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion on this one? Call the roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 6 is equipment replacement request. Surface aerator variable frequency drives. Staff instituted a replacement program for the 11 ASI Robicon VFDs since they are no longer manufactured. All spare parts have been exhausted. In 2022 and 2023, 3 of the units failed and have been replaced, being ordered in March of 2023 and delivered in January of 2024. Staff solicited a quote for the city SCADA contractor, through the city SCADA contractor, to replace 7 remaining surface aerator VFDs. Lead times for the new units are estimated at 24 plus weeks. This was a budgeted purchase as part of the city's annual replacement program for 2024. The funds for the projects are available in the utilities acquisition account. So I need a motion to approve the quote from R.E. Pedrati for $188,779.50. Base bid plus the 5% contingency of $8,989.50 to replace 7 variable frequency drives.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And Tony's Tony's here.
Tony, could you give us a little background or whatever these things actually do?
Excuse me. These units regulate the flow of electricity to all of the pumps and the surface aerators. And what that allows us to do is, unlike turning on a light switch where you immediately have power, these slowly ramp the pieces of equipment up, so they're never really deadheaded. And it also allows us to monitor their operation, and the system automatically moves them up or down to correspond to either the incoming flows that we receive in the pump station or the dissolved oxygen concentration levels in the basin, thereby saving us a considerable amount of money instead of just having things running 100% all the time. So they typically range between 50 and 100% frequency, so 30 to 60 hertz, and they go up and down. You can hear them, if you're standing out in the parking lot. It's a money saver. It helps us fine tune the process control at the facility, and they're worth their weight in gold.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions on this? Other questions, call the roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Motion passed. Thanks, Tony. Item number 7 is the asphalt hot box trailer quotes. An asphalt hot box trailer was authorized in the 2024 budget to support asphalt maintenance operations. Quotes were solicited for the purchase of the hot box trailer. One from Craft Pro Lee Summit. It's a local supplier for $46,530. and American Equipment, Kansas City, Kansas, for $75,057. $55,000 was allocated for the 2024 budget for this purchase. So I need a motion to approve the purchase of the asphalt hot box trailer from Craftco in the amount of $46,530.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions for Mike?
Plus, such a big range of price there. I mean, the
Yeah,
first one's half of what the second one is.
Yeah, exactly. The Craftco unit, the K&M is, I mean, it's a plain Jane, and it's strictly ran off a diesel, and it just has a burner. The step unit from American Equipment, it's oil jacketed. That's how it heats it up, which that's going to raise the price up. It works more like a crack sealer, but it also heats the asphalt up. Plus, you're figuring in the price of a Honda motor. It helps run the unit. Based off of this Craftco, the K&M unit doesn't have a motor, so you're saving a considerable amount of money not having any motor.
There's more bells and whistles.
Right, exactly.
And I guess I have one more question. Is there like an hour meter on this thing so we can keep track of how much we use it?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, when we were introduced, when I first came on the board, you had mentioned that you had done quite a bit of research on this specific piece of equipment.
Right.
Is this the piece of equipment that you discussed with me?
Yeah, this is the one we were heavily favoring. I mean, we do like the oil jacketed one because it works like our crack sealer. We're used to that, and we like the way that it heats up. But with the price of the units, it's, we just try to keep the cost down. And for what we're using it for, we don't need all the bells and whistles. We're trying to save on waste, and we're also trying to save time. When we do the smaller patching jobs in the cooler days, where you've really got to run around as fast as you can before that asphalt cools off, this will keep the asphalt. We can use this for 3 days straight.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else from the council? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 8 is executive session, economic development. Need a motion to go into executive session for the preliminary discussion of economic development activities, KSA 75-4319B4, for 15 minutes, beginning at 7:13 and ending at 7:28.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Remember, it's a minute.
My car's not.
Motion to return to open session.
I have a motion and a second to return to open session. Call the roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
We have returned to open session. No binding action was taken during the executive session. Okay. So we'll go around the horn. Department heads, anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got, Josh?
So on Monday night, Tim and I went to the school board. We approached them about using the high school for the Independence Day celebration on June 29th. And they agreed to open conversation and let us use the facility, use the grounds for the celebration. So a couple of months ago, I came, or a month or two ago, I came to you guys and said, hey, can you authorize me to go talk to them? And so I did. And so now that's kind of how we'll proceed, unless you guys have strong objections otherwise. We'll use the high school. We'll collaborate with them, work with Victory Pyrotechnics, who is our fireworks contractor, and we'll plan on that celebration.
It was positive.
I think everybody was good with that when we talked about it
Yeah.
first time.
No, it was a positive meeting.
Yeah.
A few things to work out, but I don't see anything that can't be. What if there is some sort of accident? Who's responsible?
So that was brought up at the school board meeting. We will get a rider to attach to the insurance to cover that.
Get without one
Yeah.
permission, and I don't blame them. Right, no, absolutely not, yeah. We've been down that road.
Yeah.
I also believe that there will be, this didn't come up, no alcohol, is that?
That is my understanding, that state statute prohibits alcohol from being consumed or sold, obviously, on school property. So, yes.
As long as everybody knows.
Everybody wants to change that now? Just checking.
I mean,
Could be a big driver.
alcohol.
All right.
They also talked about using that as a fundraiser for the playground.
That is true, yeah. So it was discussed, one of the school board members asked if, in conjunction with the event, they could run a fundraiser for the adaptive use or multi-use
Handicap playground.
handicap playground.
Handicap is not the word they use.
Correct.
Like charge per.
It's a
donation per car
all-inclusive
or something.
playground or something.
Yes, all inclusive.
Okay. All right, thanks. City attorney,
Nothing to report, Mayor.
city engineer,
Nothing.
city administrator. Tim, what do you got?
Be sure to check out the library annual report. Really great things happened there in 2023. Really proud of Terry and Emily and the team over there. They do a terrific job. So just a wonderful place. Really proud of the library. So it's been exciting. Some polls are starting to go up on Center Drive, so it's nice to see that progress taking place. Couple other things. So we did open bids today for the pool. Those are being reviewed and tabulated and finalized, so I don't want to give you guys a number or a specific contractor quite yet, but generally we think it'll be good news. Generally, we're pretty confident we'll be able to do all of the alternates that we wanted to do, so that's good. But we should have final numbers and for approval for the council at the March 7th meeting, so that's exciting. So that is coming up. We had, like I said, we're pretty confident with the bids we had today. Another thing, Councilman Major and I went to a High Prairie and Delaware Township work session on Tuesday. Overall, it was a blunt but positive discussion, and there was good feedback, and we feel like. They were pretty honest about how they felt, and that's good. They put it out there, but anyway, there's another meeting scheduled in a couple of weeks that we'll go to. But right now, our big goal is keeping the lines of communication open. We've had really positive discussions with Delaware Township, working through issues, and High Prairie. They like I said, it was good that they threw out there what they were thinking, and right, wrong, or otherwise. But again, it sounds like we'll have another meeting in a couple weeks. One of the things that came up that there was some general agreement on, but we need to work through the mechanics. We issued our notice to terminate last December. So 18 months would put us at June of this year. There was some discussion if we were able to all come to an agreement of possibly delaying that from June of this year to possibly December of this year. So that would give everybody a little bit more time to work through the assets and kind of what everyone's going to do. So that might be something that comes up to this board at a future meeting.
Is it appropriate for me to ask, was that meeting as contentious as meetings have been in the past, or are we making headway in that area where we are building trust and we're really listening to each other?
I would say it was more positive than past meetings, but it was more positive, but people were very honest. But it was more positive than past meetings, I would say.
Bar was set pretty low.
No, but it was good. The elected officials from High Prairie were very welcoming and honest, and the folks from Delaware were very good. And like I said, we didn't solve all the world's problems on Tuesday night, but it was good to get us all in the same room talking and working
Headed in the
through.
right direction.
Yeah, I
And
felt
the
like it was.
delay- The delay has a lot to do with what we still have to do left.
Yeah, the delay might not be a bad idea.
Right, I mean, it's a 6-month
Benefit
delay,
us.
not a year or
Yeah.
2-year delay, but we have a lot of steps we still have to go through. And we can lay those out and kind of lay a timeline down. That's something we can do for the council and say, we still have to do all these things, so probably aren't gonna get that done by that deadline.
And ultimately on that, if you have the parties make an agreement, or come to consensus on what they want to do, it certainly moves the process faster, or well, maybe not faster, but it makes it easier. If everybody's in agreement ultimately, and we all can shake hands on it, it will make everything in everybody's life so much easier when that ultimately comes about. So.
And we can list what we got left to do, Terry, for everybody. So.
Sure, I understand.
Yep, that's all I have.
And I would say if trying to get it all done by June,
Yeah.
that's not going to be an easy feat, I don't think.
No, I
The,
think
the,
that's-
the biggest challenge is kind of, you remember we have to do some type of asset inventory, and then you kind of have to divvy up the assets based on allocations. And we're 63% of the district, and High Prairie's 24 or 25. So I mean, there's hurdles that have to be jumped through. And so yeah, in that sense, I think we were all in agreement that maybe a slight delay is an okay idea.
I appreciate you and Marcus doing that, representative as well.
And I guess I'll say Marcus did a terrific job presenting. Like I said, it was a productive meeting.
All right, thanks, Tim. We'll go around the horn for the council. Gene, starting with you.
About the incident at the Super Bowl celebration parade. Of course, a lot of your physical wounds will heal, but I was listening to a program today and they were talking about the kids. Kids that weren't physically wounded, but who were separated from parents, who witnessed that, and the long-term psychological damage done to those kids. So with all of that in mind, it's just, I feel horrible for the kids, and I hope they get whatever it is they need from here on out. Thanks everybody for pitching in tonight. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Gene. Jesse.
Yeah, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on another Super Bowl victory. It's really awesome. Me and my wife went down there, and we got downtown at the 13th and Grand at 5:15 in the morning to get a good seat. Great time, great parade, ruined by thugs. First thing people think is terrorist. It wasn't terrorist. It was thugs who had an altercation and used a weapon to try to make a point. That was completely inappropriate, completely wrong. We need to pray for the families that were involved in it, pray for the family of the lady that died. And of course, this is going to bring up a lot of firearm talk again in our nation, our community. I'm a firearm owner. I believe in owning firearms. A firearm is no more dangerous than a car with a drunk driver behind. It's the person behind the gun with a mental illness doing the damage. We need to pray for the mental stability of our nation. That's all I've got.
All right, thanks, Jesse. Pete.
Just echo what's already been said. Congratulate the Chiefs on a great season, and all the fans. It's definitely a high and a low when you have another incident like we had a couple days ago. And our community, I'm sure, will rally behind everyone with prayer or thoughts, and I'm sure a lot of people are already contributing when they can. But thank you, Lansing, for all that you do, all the residents. Thank you for all the workers in Lansing for all that you do. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Pete. Dan?
Last week, I brought up the intersection of Mary and Second Street going for the buses of a morning. Once you get somebody at the stoplight on Second Street wanting to turn left on Mary and the long buses come in, I watched the passenger side dualies, both tires, come off the pavement, hit the cement culvert that was not designed for traffic, and then come back on it as they made the way. I did talk to the superintendent of the school, and he was going to work with the bus driver director and make sure everybody had the right training to maneuver that as best as they could. And on the packet, you saw the letter that they sent out asking us to look at it. And I've talked with the city engineer, and if he wants me to come out there and show him exactly what I saw. But I'm sure that the people involved will deal with it the way it needs to be done. And Jesse, I agree with all your comments as well. That's everything, Mayor.
All right, thanks, Dan. Carrie?
Terry, you do an exceptional job. Thank you. Please pass that on to your staff. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thanks. Don?
I don't have anything, Mayor. Everything's been said.
Okay. Kevin, you're last.
Yes, Terry, I'd like to also echo what Terry said about the job you're doing over there and your staff. Thank the school board for allowing us to use their grounds for July 4th celebration, and when you get to setting everything up, please keep in mind the parking. And that's all I have, and I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Call roll.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Thank you. We are adjourned.